Jwwilliams funeral directors have been proudly serving the people of this community since 1918. Service is our motto. The poor, the rich, the middle class and all are given the best of care and attention at all times. You have the privilege to select what you want. In your time of need, contact the capable, the competent, and the dependable staff of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home who is genuinely concerned with your care. At Jwwilliams Funeral Home, you are aptly served by the proprietor president, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, who continues the traditions and values set forth by the past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams. Your announcements for the Jwwilliams Funeral Home Sunday morning program are Deacon Arthur L. Parker, Reverend Isaac H. Owens, Mrs. Alondra Wilkerson Parker, Minister Frankie Harmon, Ms. Sandra Johnson, and Deacon Earl Clark, Jr.
Thank you, and good morning, friends. We come to you this morning to bring announcements, dedications, and songs. We certainly hope that your day may be brighter after listening to our program. Mrs. Gloria and Curry Gant of Albany, Georgia. The family of Mrs. Janie Lee Dempsey Miller of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mr. Ronnie Thomas of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Mr. Henry Moses Polk of Plains, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for the food, the flowers, the condolences, and all other expressions of sympathy and kindness shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. Mrs. Gloria Ann Curry Gant, age 64, 5313 Valuable Street, Albany, Georgia, died Monday, March 16th at a residence in Albany, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Gloria Ann Curry Gant, age 64, was held on Sunday, March 22nd, in the sanctuary of the New St. James Missionary Baptist Church in Oakfield, Georgia. The Reverend Larry James, pastor. The Reverend Samuel Stokes officiated. Her pastor, the Reverend Tiller Sims, pastor of the Zion Grove Baptist Church, delivered the eulogy. The burial followed at the Mount Zion Church Cemetery in Oakfield, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted husband, the Reverend Eddie Lee Gant of Albany, Georgia. Two devoted sons, Mr. Timothy Gant and his wife, Mrs. Yashika Gant of Sylvester, Georgia, and Mr. Kenneth Gant of Albany, Georgia. Two loving daughters, Miss Kimra Gant and Miss Kanisha Gant, both of Albany, Georgia. 9 beloved grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren, 5 beloved brothers, Mr. Jerome Curry and his wife, Mrs. Kimberly Curry, Mr. Ricky Curry, Mr. Michael Curry, Mr. Wayne Curry and his wife, Mrs. Michelle Curry, and Mr. Nathaniel Curry and his wife, Mrs. Audrey Curry. three loving sisters, Mrs. Dorothy Bird and her husband Deacon Bonnie Bird, Mrs. Cassandra Evans and her husband Mr. Broderick Evans, and Miss Gwendolyn Hoskins, a host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. Mrs. Gloria Ann Curry Gant, age 64, of 5313 Valuable Street, Albany, Georgia. Mrs. Janie Lee Dempsey Miller, age 94, of 407 East 25th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died Sunday, March 22nd, at the Oaks at Tucker, in Tucker, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Janie Lee Dempsey Miller, age 94, was held on Saturday, March 28th, in the sanctuary of the New Oak Grove Baptist Church in Cordele, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend W.W. Wilson, officiated. The burial followed at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted daughter, Miss Claudia May of Columbia, South Carolina. Her loving children, Miss Deborah Scott Bay and Mr. Jonathan Scott Bay of Newark, New Jersey, and Mr. Willie P. May II and his wife, Mrs. Mary Jane May of Columbia, South Carolina. Her great-grandson, Mr. Raphael May of Columbia, South Carolina. Her beloved sisters, Mrs. Margaret Pearson of New Brunswick, New Jersey, and Miss Carol Nadine Dempsey of Cordele, Georgia. Her beloved brothers, Mr. Harry Dempsey and his wife, Mrs. Sheila Dempsey of Chester, Pennsylvania, and Mr. Alfred Dempsey and his wife, Mrs. Deborah Dempsey of Jeffersonville, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. Mrs. Janie Lee Dempsey Miller, age 94, of 407 East 25th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia. Thomas, age 68, of 1059 Ashley Street, Rochelle, Georgia, died Wednesday, March 18th, at the Community Hospice Care in Jacksonville, Florida. The funeral service for Mr. Ronnie Thomas, age 68, was held on Saturday, March 28th, in the sanctuary of the Piney Grove Baptist Church in Rochelle, Georgia. The pastor, the Reverend Travis Johnson, officiated. The burial followed at the Piney Grove Cemetery in Rochelle, Georgia. Survivors include his loving children, Miss Lakita Blair and her husband, Mr. Damian Blair, Mr. Brad Deans, and Miss Alexis Wright, his beloved grandchildren and great-grandchildren, his loving sibling, Mr. Wilbert Thomas, Miss Flora Thomas, Mrs. Willie Mae Rogers, Mr. Sherman Thomas and his wife, Mrs. Vanzina Thomas, Mr. Willie Thomas Jr. and his wife, Mrs. Candy Thomas, Miss Patricia Way, and Miss Barbara Ann McAdoo. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survived Mr. Ronnie Thomas, age 68, of 1059 Ashley Street, Rochelle, Georgia. Mr. Henry Moses Polk, age 87, of 179 Georgia Highway 308, Plains, Georgia, died Monday, March 23rd, at the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center in Americus, Georgia. Survivors include the funeral service for Mr. Henry Moses Polk, age 87, was held on Saturday, March 28th, in the sanctuary of the Greater Cedar Spring Baptist Church in Plains, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Roderick Hubbard, officiated. The burial followed at Staley Memorial Garden in Americus, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted companion, Miss Eva Williams of Plains, Georgia, his loving and devoted children, Mr. Rodney R. Polk of Plains, Georgia, Mr. Donnie Lewis and Mrs. Martha Ann Harris and her husband, the Reverend Gerald Harris of Americus, Georgia, Mr. Mark Williams of New York, and Miss Kathy Wilkerson of Americus, Georgia. A host of grandchildren, great-grandchildren, his loving aunts and uncles, Mrs. Lillian Pickett and her husband, Mr. Pace Pickett of Plains, Georgia, Mr. Alma Jackson and his wife, Mrs. Willie Maul Jackson of Americus, Georgia, Mrs. Rosa May Lassiter and her husband, Mr. Edgar Lassiter of Plains, Georgia, Mr. Roy Jackson and his wife, Mrs. Elizabeth Jackson, Mrs. Leanne Gardner, and Mr. Roy Jackson Jr., a devoted cousin, Mr. Freeman Pickett of Americus, Georgia, a devoted friend, Mr. Leonard Muff of Americus, Georgia, a host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survived Mr. Henry Moses Polk, age 87, of 179 Georgia Highway 308, Plains, Georgia. Again, the family of Mrs. Gloria Ann Curry Gant of Albany, Georgia, the family of Mrs. Janie Lee Dempsey Miller of Cordele, Georgia, the family of Mr. Ronnie Thomas of Rochelle, Georgia, the family of Mr. Henry Moses Polk of Plains, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for all of the many kindnesses shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. May God bless each of you is their prayer. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Diana were in charge of each of these arrangements during the past week.
Tune in again on next Sunday morning. In your time of need, contact the competent, capable, and dependable staff at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home.
And now, it is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcements. Mr. Willie B. Robinson Jr., age 72, of 308 Spruce Lane, Vienna, Georgia, died on Thursday, March 26, at the Chris Regional Hospital in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted mother, Mrs. Gussie Key Daniels of Vienna, Georgia, his loving and devoted daughter, Miss Erica Butts, and her husband, Mr. Lewis Butts of Anniston, Georgia, 3 beloved grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren, his loving and devoted sisters, Miss Sabrina Robinson of Warner Robins, Georgia, Miss Loretta Clark and her husband, Mr. Wilbert Clark of Vienna, Georgia, his beloved brothers, Mr. Kenny Robinson and his friend, Miss Shavita Applin of Cordele, Georgia, and Mr. Andre Robinson and his wife, Mrs. Yolanda Robinson of Americus, Georgia, his beloved uncles, Deacon Theodore Key of Warner Robins, Georgia, and Mr. Thomas Key and his wife, Mrs. Cheryl Key of Zehefferfield, Florida, a host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. Mr. Willie B. Robinson Jr., age 72, of 308 Spruce Lane, Vienna, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Willie B. Robinson Jr., age 72, will be held on Wednesday, April 1st at 12 noon in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia, with the minister selected officiating. The burial will follow at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. The public visitation will be on Tuesday, March 31st from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. United States Navy veteran, Mr. Roland Eugene Scott II, age 69, of Macon, Georgia, died Monday, March 16th at the Chris Regional Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving sister, Miss Patricia Liggins of Macon, Georgia, his beloved brother, Mr. Gregory C. Scott of Macon, Georgia, a beloved aunt, Mrs. Christine Reed Hopper of Macon, Georgia, a host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. United States Navy veteran, Mr. Roland Eugene Scott II, age 69, of Macon, Georgia. The funeral service with military honors for United States Navy veteran Mr. Roland Eugene Scott II, age 69, will be held on Friday, April 3rd at 12 noon in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. The Reverend Donald Reed will officiate. The public visitation will be on Thursday, April 2nd from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mr. Edward Charles Williams Sr., age 62, of 707 West 16th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died Tuesday, March 22nd at the Chris Regional Hospital in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Wasser Williams of Cordele, Georgia, His beloved children, Mr. Edward C. Williams Jr., Miss Chateria Williams, Mr. Shantavius Williams, and Mr. Antonio Lawrence, all of Cordele, Georgia. 5 beloved grandchildren, a beloved sister, Mrs. Mamie Sutton, and her husband, Mr. Timothy Sutton, of Cordele, Georgia. His beloved brother, Mr. Freddie Mitchell, and his wife, Mrs. Barbara Mitchell, of Cordele, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Mr. Edward Charles Williams Sr., age 62, of 707 West 16th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Edward Charles Williams Sr., age 62, will be announced at a later date pending the completion of the arrangements. United States Navy veteran, Mr. Fred Albert Wooten III, age 70, of Fayetteville, North Carolina, formerly of Americus, Georgia, died Thursday, March 26, at his residence in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Survivors include a beloved and devoted son, Mr. Fred Woodard IV of Fayetteville, North Carolina, his beloved stepson, Mr. Willie M. Brown, his daughter-in-law, Miss Jessica Wooten, 3 beloved grandchildren, his beloved nieces and nephew, Miss Kamisha Sims and Mr. Elijah Sims, Mr. Samuel Caldwell, and Miss Trina Caldwell, all of Americus, Georgia. A host of beloved cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. United States Navy veteran, Mr. Fred Albert Wooten III, age 70, of Fayetteville, North Carolina, formerly of Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for United States Navy veteran, Mr. Fred Albert Wooten III, age 70, will be announced at a later date pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams Funeral Directors, serving Cordele and Vienna, are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week.
The middle class and all are given the best of care and attention at all times. You have the privilege to select what you want. In your time of need, contact the capable, the competent, and the dependable staff of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home, who is genuinely concerned with your care.
Friends, that conclude our funeral notices for this morning. And as always, we do remind each of you concerning our pre-funeral arrangements planning available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home, with packages available with a single pay, a 3-year pay, a 5-year pay, and a 10-year pay. So please stop by and talk with us concerning your pre-funeral arrangements needs available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. And also whole life insurance is available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home.
And now for announcements. St. Mark Baptist Church Easter Extravaganza 2026 Explosion will be held Saturday, April 4th, 2026 from 12 noon until 4 p.m. Everyone is invited to join. Reverend James Jordan is the pastor. Pleasant Hill Baptist Church annual Men and Women Day will be held Sunday, April 5th at 11 a.m. Minister Jwwilliams of Warner Robins, Georgia, will be the guest speaker. Sister Gloria Lucas, reporter. Sister Mary Jo Redding, church mother. Deacon Jimmy Redding, chairman. Reverend Rodney Duncan is the pastor. Friendship Baptist Church annual Women Day program will be Sunday, April 12th at 11 a.m. Pleasant Valley Baptist Church and Dr. Beverly Bolden will be the guest church. Dinner will be served. Sister Cassandra Askew, secretary. Sister Nanae Burke, church mother. Reverend Joseph Atkins is the pastor. New Poplar Springs Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday at 9:45 a.m. Each Wednesday via conference call at 6:30 a.m. for morning prayer and 7 p.m. for hour of encouragement. The dial-in number is 253-993-3761. Again, the dial-in number 253-993-3761. Pastor Teacher Johnny Dean is the pastor. Vienna Church of Christ invites everyone to worship with them in person or via Zoom each Sunday, with Sunday school at 10 a.m., morning worship at 11 a.m., Bible study each Wednesday at 7 p.m. The Zoom number is 447-485-6691. Again, the Zoom number is 447-485-6691. Brother Carl Colbert is the minister. The Free Will Ushers Union will be held at New Corinth Baptist Church today at 11 a.m. Our ushers and members of churches in the Ushers Union are requested to be present. All other churches and the public are invited to attend. Deacon Johnny Davis is chairman. Reverend Carl A. Smith is the pastor. The New St. Paul Baptist Church 3-night youth revival will be Tuesday, March 31st through Thursday, April 2nd at 7 p.m. Pastor Wallace Jordan of Lebanon Baptist Church, Plains, Georgia, will be the revivalist. The service will climax Sunday, April 5th with Sunday school at 10 a.m., worship service at 11 a.m., and the unity colors is purple. Deacon Wilburn Sims is the chairman. Reverend Michael Walker is the pastor. Beautiful Zion Baptist Church will celebrate the 22nd anniversary of the pastor, Reverend Lorinda Ray, Thursday, April 2nd, and Friday, April 3rd at 11 p.m. On program Thursday, Zion Hope, New William Grove, Zion Grove, New Ebenezer, and Mount Olive Baptist Church. Reverend Harris of Macon, Georgia, will be the speaker. On Friday, Mount Bethel, Spring Hill Baptist Church, Beulah Land Baptist Church, Friendship Finley, and St. James Baptist Church. Dr. Eddie Talbert will be the speaker. The anniversary will climax Sunday, April 5th at 11 a.m. Little Rock Baptist Church, Araby, Georgia, Davis Chapel, and Mission of Hope Church, and Reverend Joseph Green will deliver the message. Dinner will be served. Sister Azaline Kellogg, church mother. Reverend Lorinda Ray is the pastor. The Emmanuel Baptist Church Family and Friends Day will be held today at 11:15 a.m. Everyone is invited to attend. At 4 p.m., they will have a gospel singing with featuring Stacy and the Anointed Singers. Pastor Gregory Williams is the pastor. St. James Baptist Church will host a Gospel Explosion Family Affair Sunday, April 5th at 4 p.m. Sponsored by Brother Norris and Minister Gloria Mathis. On program, Reverend James Akery, the Spiritual Saints, Brother Fred Hayes, Brother Marlon Paul, Brother Quinlan King, and Brother Anthony Bass. Reverend Nelson Maynard is the host pastor. The Mount Olive Baptist Church Family and Friends Day will be held Sunday, April 5th at 10 a.m. Everyone is invited to attend. Refreshments will be served. Sister Willie Mae Walker, Church Mother, Deacon Lindbergh Williams is the chairman. Bishop Jerome Milton is the pastor. Little Rock Baptist Church Pastor's Appreciation will be Wednesday, April 8th and Thursday, April 9th at 7 p.m. The appreciation will climax Sunday, April 12th at 10 a.m. Everyone is invited to attend. Reverend Joseph Green is the pastor. The North Grove Baptist Church Mission Anniversary will be held April 12th at 10 a.m. Everyone is invited to attend. Deacon Alonzo Jones is the chairman. Reverend W.W. Wilson is the pastor. Allen Temple AME Church Anointed Healing and Deliverance Service will be Thursday, April 16th and Friday, April 17th at 7 p.m. Chief Apostle Dr. Arlene B. Davis of Lighthouse Power and Praise Cathedral will be the guest speaker. Reverend Robert J. Angrish is the pastor. Zion Hope Baptist Church 123rd Church Anniversary will be Thursday, April 23rd at 7 p.m. Pastor Terrell Carter and Greater New Bethel Baptist Church and Choir will be on program. The anniversary will climax Sunday, April 26th at 2 p.m. Dr. Dwayne Daniels and Beulah Land Baptist Church and Choir will be on program. Sister Mary Elaine Bryant, Church Mother, Deacon Xavier Bryant is the chairman. Reverend Willie James Felton is the pastor. The Christian County Middle School is excited to present the 2026 Georgia Milestone Assessment Systems Information Night, April 2nd at 6 p.m. at Christian County Middle School cafeteria. There will be prizes, drawings throughout the evening for gifts from our local business partners. Mr. Stacy Stevens is the principal. Dr. Brandon Williams is superintendent. Bethel Christian Methodist Episcopal Church Homecoming Family and Friends Day celebration will be Sunday, April 19th at 2 p.m. Dr. Jane E. Thomas will be the guest speaker. Reverend Veronica R. Smith is the pastor. Are you looking for a great way to end spring? Give your child an unforgettable outdoor experience at a country trail and camp Tales. A spring break adventure at Taraji Farms in Cordele, Georgia, presented by Indigo Life Coalition and Business Network, a Georgia nonprofit. Located at Taraji Farms next to the Farmers Market. This exciting youth camp, scheduled April 9th through the 11th, is designed especially for 3rd through 8th graders and is the perfect way to wrap up spring break with fun, friendship, and personal growth. Parents are welcome to come and join in the farm for a perfect way to relieve stress. Bring your own tent and make it a family affair. Limited spaces are available. Campers will enjoy nightly campfires, movie night, arts and crafts, race games, fashion and talent show, welcome bags, meals and snacks, and a camp t-shirt, plus enrichment activities and build confidence and character. For more information about registration, fees, and family discount, contact Loretta Patrick at 478-390-9969 or Miss Audrey Hollingsworth at 229-322-5439 or Miss Evolia Solomon at 229-805-4465. Again, for more information about registration, fees, and family discounts, contact Loretta Patrick, Audrey Hollingsworth, or Miss Evolia Solomon. The Greater Morris Tabernacle Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them today, with Sunday school at 9 a.m., worship service at 9:30 a.m. Mother Mary Henderson is the church mother. Deacon Arthur L. Parker is the chairman. Dr. K.M. Jwwilliams is the pastor. The Gethsemane Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them at 10:30 a.m. Deacon Johnny Wilson is the chairman. Reverend Cecil Straughter is the pastor. New Oak Grove Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday for Sunday school at 9:15 a.m., worship service at 10 a.m. Deacon Alonzo Jones is chairman. Reverend W.W. Wilson is the pastor. Beautiful Zion Baptist Church cordially invites everyone to worship with them today at 11 a.m. Mother Azaline Kellogg, church mother. Reverend Lorinda Ray is the pastor. The Temple of Praise, Church of God by Faith, invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday and with Sunday school at 10 a.m., morning worship at 11:15 a.m. Join them on live Facebook each Sunday at 11:40 a.m., Wednesday Bible study at 7 p.m. For more information, call 229-949-0144. Again, for more information, call 229-949-0144. Elder Michael Wyndham is the pastor. Beulah Land Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday. Sunday school at 10 a.m., morning worship at 11:15 a.m. Mother Diane Floyd is the church mother. Deacon Willie Smith is the chairman. Dr. Dwayne Daniels is the pastor. As a reminder, the primary election is coming up for Tuesday, May 19th. Registration deadline is Monday, April 20th. The early voting is Monday, April 22nd through Friday, May 15th. I am a candidate for the Chris County Commissioner, District 1, Post 2. Please check your voter registration card to see what district you live in. If you live anywhere in District 1, you are eligible to vote. And that's coming from Highway 300 all the way out to Drayton Road. Anywhere from 7th Street all the way over to 15th Street. So if you live in the district, you are eligible to vote. Please check your registration card to see what district you are living in. We urge you or encourage you to get out and vote. Again, the last day for registration is Monday, April the 20th. If you register, you are eligible to vote in the upcoming election, which is the primary election is Tuesday, May 19th. Let us get out and let our voices be heard by allowing our votes to count. We encourage you again, get out and vote. That's the only way our voices can be heard, is that we get out to vote. Again, check your registration card to see what district you live in, to be sure that you are eligible to vote. Let our voices be heard, again, by making our votes count.
As a reminder, you are invited to join us each Sunday morning on WDEC Radio 94.7 at 7:30 a.m. for our broadcast, which can be heard each Sunday morning beginning at 7:30 until 8 o'clock a.m. Remember, as always, you may join us on our Facebook page, J.W. Williams Facebook page, or on the J.W. Williams Funeral Home YouTube channel for our Sunday program, which begins at 7 o'clock live if you can't get us here at the TV station. Again, we remind you, if you have announcements or dedications that you would like for us to use on our Sunday morning program, that you may drop them off at the funeral home Monday through Saturday until 12 o'clock noon at the funeral home. You may fax them to us at 229-273-5111. Or if you would like to email them, you may email them to us at info@jwwilliams.com. And we will need all announcements and any other communications that you would like for us to share. We will need that information before 12 o'clock noon on Saturday. Again, you may email us at info@jwwilliams.com, or you may mail them to us at Post Office Box 516, Cordele, Georgia, 310100516, or you may drop them off at the funeral home Monday through Saturday before 12 o'clock noon. Our broadcast is heard each Sunday morning here on WSST TV from 7 to 8 o'clock a.m., WDEC Radio 94.7 from 7:30 to 8 o'clock a.m., or as always, you may watch us on the J.W. Williams Funeral Home Facebook page or the J.W. Williams Funeral Home YouTube channel. And now for our dedications this morning. Our first selection this morning is dedicated in loving memory of Mrs. Ruby Walker, who departed this life March 20th, 2018, in loving memory of Mr. Mark Walker, who departed this life March 24th, 2018. Dedication requested by the entire Walker family, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Deacon Willie D. Fagan, who departed this life March 27th, 1998. Dedication requested by his children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and the entire Fagan family. Precious memories linger still. In loving memory of Mother Isabella Jones Beal, who departed this life March 20th, 2006, and would have celebrated her birthday on March 29th. Dedication requested by her family and all of the members of the New Oak Grove Baptist Church, where she served as mother of the church for many years. Mother Isabella Jones Bill, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of our beloved friend, Deacon Jewel Cross, who departed this life March 30th, 2003. Dedication requested by his wife, Mrs. Martha A. Cross, his children, grandchildren, the entire Cross, Graham, and Napper family. Precious memories linger still. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish a very special happy birthday to Mr. Jaden Ray, who will celebrate his birthday on Wednesday, April 1st. Dedication requested by the entire family. As we continue this morning with our dedications, our selection this morning is dedicated to Mr. Roscoe Appling and family, Mr. and Mrs. Willie Frank Collier and family, for Mr. Gus Williams and family, for Miss Marion Felton and family, for Deacon and Mrs. Lonnie Hagerbrook and family, for Miss Sharon Chambliss and family, for Miss Frances Chambliss and family, for Miss Verdell Butts and family, for Mr. James Grant and family, for Mrs. Curtina Grant and family, for Miss Johnny Mae Westbrook and family, for the family of Mother Cornelius Jackson. The selection is dedicated this morning to the Tennant family, for Miss Sue James and family, for Miss Joanne Atkins and family. This collection is dedicated to the Carruthers family this morning, for Miss Linda Wilson and family, for the Boston family, for Pastor Jimmy Felton and family, for Mrs. Nellie Shivers and family, for Deaconess Carrie Dean Brooks and family, for Reverend and Mrs. Woody Burnham and family, for Pastor and co-pastor David Johnson and family, for Ms. Marion Golphin and family, for Mr. and Mrs. Charlie Clark and family, for Deacon and Mrs. Michael Morgan and family, for the family of Deacon Henry King and family, for the Flood family, for Deacon and Mrs. Otis Blanks and family, for Mr. Carl Bryant and family, for Mrs. Frankie Burnell and family, Deacon and Mrs. Charles Glenn and family, Deacon and Mrs. Sammy McGill and family, Ms. Bernice Smith and family, for Mr. and Mrs. Joshua Woodson and family, for Deacon and Mrs. Xavier Bryant and family, for Ms. Denise Walker and family, Mr. and Mrs. Keith Bryant and family, Mr. and Mrs. Jimmy Passmore and family, for the family of Mother Grace Patrick. The selection this morning is also dedicated to Mr. and Mrs. Mulford J. Robertson and family. Also this morning's selection is being dedicated to Mr. and Mrs. Lynn Thomas and family, for Ms. Carrie O. Smith and family, for past mayor Mr. Kenneth Lester and family, for Mr. Sammy Lewis and family, for Mr. and Mrs. Andrew Smith and family, for Mr. and Mrs. James Bryant Jr. and family, for Mr. and Mrs. Ernie Cheney and family. Selection this morning is also being dedicated to Mr. and Mrs. Timothy Sutton and family. We dedicate the selection this morning also to Dr. and Mrs. Thaddeus Laidler and family, for Deacon and Mrs. Earl Clark Sr. and family. The selection is also being dedicated to Deacon Earl Clark Jr. and the family. Also this morning, our selection is dedicated to Mr. Alton K. Brown and family, for Ms. Anita Leary and family, for Mr. Ira Robinson and family, Mr. Steve Jackson and family, the Askew family, for Ms. Cynthia Rush and family, for Mr. Reginald Billingsley and family, for the Mosley family, for Ms. Cynthia Webb and family, for Ms. Nettie Johnson and family, for the Burke family. This selection is also dedicated to Mr. and Mrs. Alvin Lester and the family, for the entire Brown family, for Mrs. Tony Stubbs and family, for Reverend and Mrs. Franklin Jordan and family, for Miss Stephanie Westbrook and family, for the Billingsley family, for the Passmore family, for the Askew family, Mr. Henry Wheeler and family, for Mr. and Mrs. Greg Peterson and family, for Miss Annie Peterson and family. Selections being dedicated to Deacon and Mrs. Sam Mumphrey and family. Also, we dedicate the selection this morning to Reverend and Mrs. Arthur Jordan and family, for the Young family, for Ms. Rosetta Leggett and family, for Ms. Dana Lester and family, for the Wheeler family, for the Whitfield family. Selection is also being dedicated to Ms. Cordelia Brown and family. We dedicate our selection this morning to Minister Robbie and Mrs. Joanne Williams and family, for the entire Ray family, Minister for Mr. Norris and Mrs. Gail Bembry and family, for Ms. Dolores Lamans and family, for the Bryant family, for Reverend Jolie Budson family. Also this morning, our selection is being dedicated to Stuart Lonnie Barrett and family, for Ms. Pearline Roundtree and family. The selection is dedicated to Ms. Ethelene Perry and family, Mr. and Mrs. Clarence White and family, for Deacon and Mrs. Norman Fields and family, the entire Anderson family, for Ms. Danny Mae Wise and family. Selection this morning is being dedicated to Ms. Wilhelmina Williams and family, for Ms. Barbara Wilson and family, for the entire Hunt family, for Ms. Renee Kellogg Beal and family, for the Lester family, for Mr. And Mrs. Joe Clark and family, for the entire Law family. Also, the selection is being dedicated to the Sheffield family. Our first selection this morning. It is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcements. Mr. Willie B. Robinson Jr., age 72, of 308 Spruce Lane, Vienna, Georgia, died on Thursday, March 26, at the Crisp Regional Hospital in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Willie B. Robinson Jr. will be held on Wednesday, April 1st at 12 o'clock noon in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. The minister selected will officiate. The burial will follow at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. Mr. United States Navy veteran, Mr. Roland Eugene Scott II, age 69, of Macon, Georgia, died on Monday, March 16th, at the Crisp Regional Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service with military honors will be held graveside for United States Navy veteran Mr. Roland Eugene Scott II on Friday, April 3rd at 12 o'clock noon at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. Reverend David Reed will officiate. The public visitation will be held on Thursday, April 2nd from 1 until 5 o'clock p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mr. Edward Charles Williams Sr., age 62, of 707 West 16th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died on Tuesday, March 24th at the Crisp Regional Hospital in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Edward Charles Williams Sr. will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. United States Navy veteran Mr. Fred Albert Wooden III, age 70, formerly of Americus, Georgia, died Thursday, March 26th at his residence in Fayetteville, North Carolina. The funeral service for United States Navy veteran Mr. Fred Albert Wooden III will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams funeral directors of Cordele and Vienna are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Our final selection this morning is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones were laid to rest during the past week. The family of Ms. Gloria Ann Curry Gant of Albany, Georgia. The family of Mrs. Janie Lee Dempsey Miller of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mr. Ronnie Thomas of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Mr. Henry Moses Paul of Plains, Georgia. This selection is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones will be laid to rest during this week. The family of Mr. Willie B. Robinson Jr. of Vienna, Georgia. The family of United States Navy veteran Mr. Roland Eugene Scott II of Macon, Georgia. The family of Mr. Edward Charles Williams Sr. of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mr. Fred Albert Wooden III of Americus, Georgia, and Fayetteville, North Carolina. This selection is dedicated to all of our sick and shed-ins, to all of our patients in the local and surrounding hospitals, nursing homes, rehabilitation centers. This selection is dedicated to our ministers and their spouses and family, to our retired educators, to the men and women serving in the armed forces, both stateside and abroad, and to all veterans everywhere, and to everyone who listens to our program each and every Sunday morning. It is a pleasure for us to bring our program to you. Our program this morning is dedicated in loving memory of our past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams. We dedicate our program this morning to each of you who are sharing with us on this beautiful Palm Sunday. And we pray that as you are experiencing today, that we truly understand and prepare ourselves to celebrate the resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. As always, again, we thank you for tuning into our program each and every Sunday morning. We pray God's blessings upon you. Our final selection this morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. We hope you've enjoyed our program. Tune in again on next Sunday morning. Remember, in your time of need, contact the competent, capable, and dependable staff at the Jwwilliams family.